So my brother and I, we kind of grew up on Pokemon. Around here, a lot of kids did. And this may seem like it will sound like a bittersweet story about two siblings who grew up with a couple of games that eventually take them down two different roads. Well, there's a little more than that. It all began before Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald version came out. My brother just bought the thing that started it all.
Angie, you won't believe what I just bought.
No freaking way! Where'd you find a GameShark that practically extinct?
2 words for you, garage sale, and it was only $5.
Well, do you know how it works? Like, did it come with a manual?
No, but how hard could it be? With this, we can use all the old codes and hacks we heard about from our friends. And check it out. I brought blue version to test it on. And like this. And bam.
So we started digging around with the Pokemon game. And we ended up destroying it. After a couple code entries, the game got so glitched it was unplayable, and Blake lost all his progress.
I can't believe this! I freaking hate this thing!
Like, it's fine, we can replace it, I guess. It's a stupid shark, it was a waste of money.
He never played that game again after it broke. Personally, I never wanted to use a GameShark or anything similar to it again. It didn't really matter. We lost the GameShark after our rooms were moved around. We had a new addition added to our house, and we presumed the GameShark and all our other old games had disappeared in a mess of stuff that got stuffed into a closet. Years went by, and then Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald version came out. Of course, my brother and I got our copies. And it wasn't a real hard game. We beat the Elite Four and won the game within 2 weeks. It still brought back a lot of memories from the old days, before the Advance came out. Little did I know, I was gonna have a blast from the past that I would never forget.
Who is it?
Angie, you won't believe what I just found. Check it out. Check it out.
Hey, Blake, this is all our old stuff. Where did you get it?
Mom made me clean out the closet, and I found it when I was finishing up.
My old Game Boy.
It still works?
I guess it still works.
Let's see if that works. Unjiggle the batteries a little bit, but yep, it still works.
It's my gold version. The last game I played before I got the Advance. Oh my god, here's my yellow and my red version. I'm so gonna start a new game in gold. What about you, Blake? Are you gonna start a new game in silver? Blake, are you listening? I thought you threw that away.
Good thing I didn't.
That'll ruin your game. Remember what happened in your blue version?
Yeah. I'll read the instructions this time, and I won't fuck up my silver version. So thank you. See ya.
I'd spent the last 24 hours at a friend's place. During that time, I was able to reach the Elite Four. However, my party was ill-balanced and was still in no shape to face the final trainer.
Excuse me.
No problem.
When I last checked with Blake, he was 2 badges ahead of me. I started to hope maybe he'd let me borrow a few of his Pokemon for the final battle. Then again, I had no idea what he'd been up to or how far he'd gotten while I was gone.
If anybody needs me, I'll be outside.
For all I knew, he was done with the game and started a new one. Which I figured was all the better for me, since he would need those Pokemon and I'd stand a better chance of scoring a few from him.
Hey, Blake, I need some help. I'm at the end of the Johto League, and I was wondering if you can help. Melvin. Blake? Blake? Are you okay?
It was awful. Oh God. White everywhere and then black!
Like, just calm down. What do you mean?
I'm so cold.
Stop. Just stop. Like, you just need to take a break from video games. Hang out with your friends or something. Are you insane?
Get that damn thing away from me!
What do you mean? Blake?
He ended up in a psych ward of the local town hospital. He had been there for 2 days now. No one could figure what had set off his maniac behavior. Mom and I had collected and brought in all the cut-up game cartridges to be looked at, but no one had even thought to tie it back to the game. Maybe it was my fault.
Get that damn thing away from me!
I hadn't said a word about how he reacted when he touched my Game Boy and hearing the music from it.
Did you find any explanation for his behavior, Doctor?
No, we haven't got any accurate evidence for his behavior, but based on the descriptions you've given me, I'd say he's developed a stress disorder of some kind.
Will he be okay?
Yeah, he can actually go home in a few days, and I can give you a prescription to help with his behavior.
Can I go in and visit?
Of course, dear, just don't do anything to frighten him. In the meantime, will you come with me to my office and I'll write a prescription for Blake?
Of course.
Sorry, Blake. It's really all my fault that you're here. If I had to play that music, you wouldn't be.
Angie, go in my room when you get home.
What? Why?
I think they're under my bed. I think it's in the container, under my bed.
You mean the hack?
Yes. Go in there, take all the things, and just get rid of them. I don't want to play with any of the games anymore.
How do you want me to get rid of them?
Promise me, Angie. Promise me you'll get rid of them.
Okay, I promise.
Let's go, Angie. Sleep well, Blake. We'll be out here in a few days.
Thanks, Mom. I love you.
I love you too, sweetie.
My poor damaged little brother. How could I refuse this request? I went to school late that day, and I knew what had to be done after. I didn't know it at the time, but this would be the last time that I could ever play the big sister role and help him out. I just had to get rid of that game. But during the whole day, a sick curiosity started going through my head. What happened in that game that scared him so badly? I was scared myself.
Here goes nothing.
They looked so innocent. Simple toys and a simple spiral-bound bunch of papers. I scanned through all the cheat codes that were in the notebook. There had to be 20 at most. Then I noticed there was one cheat code on the list that was crossed out, a marker. It seemed he had really tried to erase this one, for the ink from the marker had bled almost 2/3 of the way to the back cover. Either way, the pen was still able to stick out.
Never heard of this before.
White everywhere. And black.
I remembered him mentioning something about white and then black. Could the white be snow? It was only May and the temperature was climbing to the 90s. We lived in Florida.
It's just a game, right?
It started up pretty normally. I still kept the sound on low and continued to the starting menu. His game time was to the limit. I knew he couldn't have been on that long. I barely logged 50 hours on my own game, and I was on the Elite 4. Probably done from hacking the game. Must have fucked up his file. I just proceeded anyway and the game started up. A dim sort of map came onto the screen, but it looked like static. I squinted down and realized that it was actually a map of Mount Silver.
Static must be snow. Why is there no sound?
Typical party for someone who uses a GameShark. Yet, something was off about the sprites. They seemed sullen in a way. The map had brightened up a smidge when I closed out of the start menu, that it was hard to see my little player sprite. Something was off about him, too. When I checked the character information, it was the same as the Pokémon sprites. The colors were dull. In fact, now that I think about it, he almost looked frostbitten.
Yeah, it's a bit creepy.
His expression was sad, like he was alone, cold and scared. I turned and tried to move back down the mountain. As I hit the bottom of the screen, words popped up and there was finally sound. My sprite hitting the wall.
It was unsettling.
I went into my Pokemon and tried to use Fly, but that failed too.
Fuck it.
There was an escape rope in his bag. I tried using it, but that didn't even work either.
What's going on?
Once again, I tried walking down the mountain, and to my horror, the words changed with every attempt. The last one sent a frigid feeling through my heart. There was no way down the mountain. Turning the sprite around, I moved him forward. As I tried to move up, the sprite paused. By now, I was getting goosebumps. Then things were even weirder after a text box popped up saying that Meganium had died. I knew Pokemon couldn't die in this game.
Hell, how's this possible?
I tried reviving my Pokemon, but it wouldn't even let me do that. I was even more horrified when I saw a red X replace the sprite.
You must be kidding me. What kind of Easter egg is this?
There wasn't much I could do, so I continued slowly up the mountain. But after trying to ignore the previous message, another came up saying Pidgeot had died.
Oh, it's ridiculous. No way they're all dead. This isn't possible. Oh my god.
When the image came up, I was horrified. My Meganium was the same way.
Oh my god. Why? How is this happening?
Morbid curiosity urged me onward. As I continued up the mountain, Each one of the Pokemon in my party were dying, each with an even more terrifying look, and my player was getting even slower as they died. All I had left now was my Typhlosion, but he was down to only 6 HP. I finally hit the summit and the snow stopped falling, but Red was not there. Right in the center of the map, sticking out of the snow, was what looked like a Pokeball. I was hoping that this would lead up to the climactic battle that would end this nightmare.
Please let this be the way out of this horror show. What's happening? There's no way for me to. Please let this be the way out of this horror film. No.
The battle with that disgusting Celebi made me hope that this was going to end, and that I would be transported to a Pokemon Center. My trainer had seemed different in some way. I decided to check his trainer card. The moment the card came up, I was sickened for what I saw.
This is what Blake went through?
His sprite matched every detail of the trainer card. The moment I decided to continue walking up the map, I received a message. There was only one direction to go, and as I moved on, every now and then I would be interrupted with a new message. Each made my heart sink lower and lower, that tears started forming in my eyes. The walls were getting darker until they were pitch black at the end. Soon there was an exit that was marked by a white outline. I had no choice but to go through it.
Please.
I found myself in a chamber that was a solid white with thin gray walls. Against the far wall, there was a familiar face that was missing from before.
Not red. I need to finish this. I've come too far to quit now. I still don't even know me, like, so crazy.
I went up to a sprite and hit the A button. He said nothing, and the next thing I knew, I found myself in a battle. Red's sprite had none of the deformities to match my own. He just looked extremely sad. His first Pokemon was a mangled Venusaur. It was like my other Pokemon, at level 0, and a speck of HP. I sent out my nearly dead Typhlosion, with only 6 HP left. No sound or animation were heard at all. All it did was use Struggle, only inflicting 1 hit toward my Pokemon. Once that happened, it fainted. However, the text read that he had died. Red gave no response. His next Pokemon was Blastoise, which looked worse. It felt the same way. The fight continued with each of his Pokemon repeating this process and ending up meeting their demise. But then I noticed he was sending out his Pokemon in the wrong order, which means he was about to use his last Pokemon. He then sent out Pikachu. It was grotesque, the worst of all the Pokemon I've seen in this game. It had no eyes and barely any body left. But what really scared me was its giant smile that extended to both cheeks as it stared at me. Pikachu used Pain Split, killing both of them instantly. I never even got a chance to put up a fight. Then Red appeared. He looked like a living corpse. He finally spoke.
What's going on?
looked around for another Pokemon game to see if the others were taken. I found yellow version and inserted it into the Game Boy. I was relieved to see the normal Pikachu on the screen greet me with its twitching ears and smiling face. They were both dead, Red and my planet, and that cave in the mountain was their hell.
We're expecting this weather to continue up the northeast and dissipate within 3 days. And that's your weather forecast for today. Back to you.
When we return, we're going to take you to a local criminal investigation where a family is found stabbed to death, and their eldest son is missing. That and more on JED News at 6.
Hello?
Hey Angie, how's it going?
Oh, hey Brooke. You know, same old stuff.
How's your brother doing?
He's actually doing really good. Hopefully he'll be back in school in a couple weeks.
That's good. Hey, I'm working on a new file in Blue version, and I was hoping you can help me with the Mew code. What do you say?
I'm sorry, I can't, Brooke. I gotta go. I'll see you on Monday.
But Angie, I need...
To my surprise, Blake wasn't the only one in the neighborhood to use the cheat code. Lots of others did, and most of them suffered the same fate as Blake. But the few who weren't had one thing in common. They were always mindful of the state of the first one who used the cheat. So I wasn't affected like Blake, because I played with more caution to avoid ending up like him. Blake, however, never knew what to expect from the start. We were able to have it taken down after telling site owners about it. We never found the fuck that created the code. It was almost like it just appeared out of nowhere. Either way, Blake gave up playing Pokemon altogether. As for me, I still needed some time to get myself straight, but I was able to play them again, in time. Unhacked, of course. Yet still the memory remained in my head forever. That winter, the snow fell thick.
Sleep, my darlings, lay your heads down on the bed. Sleep, my children, don't forget the words I said. Let your eyes rest, troubles, thoughts release the day. Let the mist in, let your dreams take you away. Follow me, follow me, follow me, listen to my melody. Don't turn back, don't lose track, let yourself walk into the black. The night has come, the day has gone, we're free to frolic in utter fun. Our favorite game, won't you play? Don't get scared, please stay, please stay. You see that hole in that rock? Take my hand and don't you talk. Your soul is mine, your soul is mine. You fell for my trick and your soul is mine. One soul down, your family's next. Don't try and stop me. What will lead your destiny? What is that? You don't want to play. That's fine with me. Go away. But don't think you'll be returning soon.